it is okay to rest and still be productive. And my brain at first before was like, how is it possible to run a successful business if I'm resting? Surely you can only run a successful business if you're taking action and you're doing things. So what does scarcity sound like and look like in a jewelry business? It looks like there are not enough people to like my jewelry. I'm falling behind. Nobody's buying. There's too much competition. That my prices are too high. People aren't spending money these days. All of these things are fear-based. All of these things are scarcity mindset-based. And what scarcity mindset does to your brain is it puts you in a state of fear, lack, and urgency. And what that does to your brain is that it stops you from being able to actually make decisions and think bigger picture. Because if you're in scarcity mindset, what that is, it's just a present fear of what's going to happen, worrying about the future, worrying and stress. And from a place of stress, you cannot make bigger picture thinking. And the way that I learned to implement this in my business is that I realized that I was often really scared to ever take a break and take a rest from making my jewelry, running my business. I felt like I always needed to be doing something, and that was urgency. So I was like, I can't rest because then I'm going to fall behind. I can't have a nap even if I'm exhausted because other people are still doing things. And if I'm an entrepreneur, this is what I told myself, is if I'm an entrepreneur and I want to be successful entrepreneurs, from what I've seen, are working all the time. They're really hustling. They're really working really hard. So I felt like I needed to be working really, really hard in order to be successful as well. But what actually was happening is that I was putting my nervous system in a constant state of stress. So I wasn't able to relax, take a breath, take a moment, and allow myself to actually get excited about things. So what I realized later on, after many years of struggling and doing it the wrong way, is that it is okay to rest and still be productive. And my brain at first before was like, how is it possible to run a successful business if I'm resting? Surely you can only run a successful business if you're taking action and you're doing things. But then I realized that if I'm relaxed, it allows my nervous system to be in a calmer place. And from that calmer place, it allows your neurons to open to inspiration, to ideas for collections, to creative solutions for glitches on your website, workarounds, to exciting new ideas for the trajectory of your business, because you're in a calmer state. So your brain isn't in stress, survival, must do the urgent thing on my to-do list now. And it's a totally different energy. So in terms of that, I realized that taking a rest, relaxing for a little bit, doing something to fill up my cup was actually a productive move. So from that place of rest, I get those creative ideas, and then you take aligned action. So I always heard the saying aligned action, and I didn't really understand what it meant. But aligned action means taking action based on the inspiration received and the ideas received from a calm state. Because those are the things you can get behind, you can get excited about, and you know that they're right because you're in a state where you're able to receive those signals. And you know, yes, this is the right move for me. Because if you're constantly in a state of go, 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 do, hustle, 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 which I used to do a lot of with my jewelry business. So I was a teacher, I was running my jewelry business and doing all the stuff, and I felt like I could never take a break. But if you are allowing yourself to actually breathe or rest for a bit, then what you do is 10 times better than what you could ever have come up with from that state of stress. The the decisions you make, that I learned from myself, the decisions that I made from a place of stress and urgency were never the right decisions. And then it ends up creating more work. You need to go and fix all the things that you did. Or if I was really tired and I was forcing myself to push through, I'd make mistakes. I'd have to end up redoing everything anyway. So at the end of the day, resting and allowing myself to do things that fill up my cup. I love doing pottery. I love doing a bit of painting. I painted the picture on the wall, pictures over there. I really enjoy doing things that are just for me, for the pure joy of doing them. And see those things as not taking away from me actually being productive, but actually filling me up. So how this also shows up in your business is that people feel the energy behind what you're putting out there. So say you've created a jewelry collection, like I did actually, from a place of exhaustion, fear, hurry, urgency, because I had a trade show, and I said that I was creating a new collection, but I just finished school, then I got sick, but I had like 1 week to finish this collection, and I told everyone that I was doing it, so I absolutely had to do it, even though my body and every fiber of me was screaming, rest, don't. I did it anyway, and I made the most awful collection I ever did. And what I learned from that waste of money making this collection and pieces that nobody was interested in is that I was not connected to those pieces. I wasn't excited about those pieces. I made them, I was like, that'll do, quick, next one, that'll do, go on. And that is the energetics that is happening all the time behind everything you're putting out there. You will sense this yourself in day to day. Say you arrive at somebody's house and they greet you super warmly and they're so happy to see you. You can tell if that's genuine or if that's forced and feeling fake, and actually they would have preferred to have some time on their own. And that is the subtle energetics behind what people say, because they might say one thing, but underneath you know what's actually at play there. So this is what's happening with everything you put out there as well. So when you're creating collections, when you're posting online, when you're showing up with your face even, people can tell what's happening underneath there. They can tell if there's a sense of urgency. Even if they can't really tell consciously, they subconsciously know. And you subconsciously know as well what energy you put out there behind that. So this is what I'm all about, is helping you create a magnetic jewelry brand that feels exciting to share about, that feels so you, that feels so aligned with your audience, and you get your audience and your, best friends basically, and you're creating something for them. You're not just creating something going like, oh, strategically, I heard that stacking rings were a good thing to create, so I'm going to create stacking rings. You have no emotional connection to them. You don't care for stacking rings. You don't even wear them yourself, but you were told, or you read some analytics, or ChatGPT told you to make some stacking rings, so you made some stacking rings. But you can't be bothered and you're not interested in those stacking rings at all. But strategically, it's trending. It looks like the right thing to do. It doesn't work. You need to create what feels real and authentic and exciting for you, because that's the stuff that sells. And another note on scarcity as well is that you might be looking around the world right now and be like, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff going on. People are terrified. Nobody's spending money on jewelry. It's just not happening. Why am I even bothering? Oh, I should maybe price my jewelry a bit lower so that people can afford it. Stop. People are buying things every single day. People are buying jewelry because it makes them feel good. And when you're in a state of stress and things aren't going well, sometimes we just need to wear something that makes us feel calm, that makes us feel seen, that makes us feel ourselves. So the stronger, unique selling point you have, that your audience can be like, oh my God, this jewelry brand gives me goosebumps. I love the stories behind the pieces. Oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need in my life right now. Then people will buy. But just trying to sell jewelry because it looks pretty, it's so much harder because people feel the energy behind the pieces. So this is what is helping jewelry businesses do really well now. The ones who are not doing well are the ones without any special story, without any clear target audience, without a positive vibe behind the brand. Because when people are wearing jewelry, it's so personal. They're wearing it on their body. So they want to take a piece of that vibe and that energy that you've created and put out into the world and wear it to feel good. And that is such a beautiful and special thing that you are doing. So your jewelry is worth creating. People want it because people want to feel good about themselves. So really, I would suggest highly trying to switch your mindset from all the fear, scarcity, worry, all of those thoughts, and shift it and say to yourself the positive opposite. So if, for example, you're saying to yourself that I'm falling behind, you say, I'm doing things in my time that feels right and aligned for me. If you're worried about people not buying, you say people are looking for jewelry right now to solve their problem, to feel good about themselves. So I challenge you this week to watch yourself and see where your mind goes. Is your mind constantly looking for the negative thing? Is it always focusing on the worst case scenario? Or are you open to easing and seeing the positive? And I'm not talking about toxic positivity where you go, this is great, this is great, this is great, when your entire world's falling apart. I'm just saying, look at the learning from the thing that's happened. So align your inner state first, and then the strategy is what follows afterwards. But strategy is about 10%, and the rest of it is 90%. If you don't believe in what you have to offer and you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will either. So it all starts with you. So show yourself a little bit of love. Do something extra nice for yourself this week. Comment below with an idea of something that you love doing and something that fills up your cup and allows you to ease a little bit, to be in the state, to receive inspiration, to think bigger picture, and to make aligned action for your business. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.